Back in the cave days, they didn't even have video games. Hi everybody, I'm Crep, and we're playing Cave Story. Except it's not Cave Story, it's Sonic Story. This is a mod of Cave Story, the original freeware version, done by Cucky Dev. I'll put the link in the description. It's available to download and play. It's very interesting. It's just regular old Cave Story. Look at this. There's Kazuma just tapping away on his computer because he's stuck in a house somewhere and needs help from his sister. But then you get further along, it's Sonic. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. Wow, he's really here. It's really him. You have a rings meter instead of health, and a weapons gauge, experience meter, and it's not the only change. The other major thing is that we have momentum on our movement, and all of the slopes in the game have been given properties that affect our speed, our motion, and our jump height, just the same way they do in the Genesis and Sega CD Sonic games. That's cool. That's the whole game. It's just Cave Story, but you're Sonic the Hedgehog. There is one more major change. There'll be a couple of small dialogue changes along the way, but right here, normally we pick up the Polar Star, but Sonic doesn't use guns. Like, canonically. That's why they made Shadow the Hedgehog, is because they're never going to put a gun in Sonic's hands. That's why they made the Avatar in Sonic Forces, because they're never going to put a gun in Sonic's hands. So that's a thing. So our only method of doing damage to anything the whole game is by rolling or jumping into enemies. This gets pretty complicated when it comes to the bosses, but we'll get to that when we get to it. And of course, you drop all your rings when you get hit. All in all, it's pretty accurate to how the Genesis games feel, except for Sonic has like a really slow starting speed. I'm not sure if tweaking that to make it more accurate would make it easier to play or not. It's kind of something you get used to the more you play it, to be honest. Don't eat cockroaches, Kazuma. That's a bad idea. I'm not going to be paying the most attention to the story. It's a thing that's happened many times on YouTube, because Cave Story's been around for 16 years now. I think it may have actually been sometime in June or May that it got released in 2004. Something like that. So it's made the rounds plenty already, not even counting the numerous like revisions and like other remakes of it that have been put out by Nicalis, or however you're supposed to pronounce it. I'm never going to pronounce that name correctly ever again, because I mean, screw those guys, to be honest, for a number of reasons. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just gonna kind of let the plot of this game go by. If you haven't experienced the plot of Cave Story before, either just slow the video down every once in a while, give it a good pause, and just take it in, or watch someone else's LP. There's thousands of them out there, I'm sure. Thousands may actually be an understatement. Genuinely. With how big Let's Playing as a whole is on YouTube, and again, how long this game has been out. A lot of my commentary over the course of this LP is going to be talking about what makes this mod interesting. Hi there, Toriko. And a lot of that's going to include the boss encounters. Now, in a moment, we're going to have the option of fighting Balrog. If you don't know who Balrog is, that's fine. You will in about 3 seconds. He's a very cool guy. He likes to show up. He says huzzah. He does not say oh yeah. He looks sort of like just a big old metal box. He's great. Love him. People have likened him to a toaster, thanks to his wonderful nubby arms with their arm slots that let them move up and down, being very reminiscent of whatever it is that you press down on the front of a toaster to make the bread go down in. You know, like an old-timey toaster. I guess not that old-timey. They were around in common in like the 90s and early 2000s, but nowadays most people just have toaster ovens, I think. Either they toast their stuff in toaster ovens, or they microwave everything and don't toast anything ever, and thus live a sadder existence. Just we wait. I can't wait for anything. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. I have to keep moving. I'm very fast. So, any time in the game where enemies, as you've seen before, or bosses in this case, would give you the little weapon crystals that power up your weapons, let you get them from level 1 to level 2 to level 3, you instead get rings, because there are no weapons. You literally never pick up any weapons the whole game. I should still save. Saving mattered a lot in the original Cave story for different reasons than it matters here. It's very easy to just kind of keep going with this game in the same way you keep going in a Sonic game, but some bosses make it a lot harder to do that because... How do I put it? In a typical Sonic game, when you roll or jump in through an enemy, if it only takes that one hit, then you just go through it. In this game, though, every enemy that you hit when you're rolling or the like, or jumping into it, will always bounce you away, or at least slow you down as you roll right through it. And that makes picking up your rings harder sometimes. It can be a bit of a challenge. Thank you, Arthur, for the key. This is the item we need to pick up in order to continue on. So, boss encounters especially will get very interesting in the future. That first Balrog fight, not really a problem. The next Balrog fight will be more of a problem. Nope, hold on. I need to give permission to go to the egg corridor first. Or we need to head. Absolutely. If I were in charge of this mod, I would have replaced, like, all of the music with custom org maker imports of, well, not imports, but recreations of Genesis Sonic themes. I mean, come on, like, this this area would be prime for some Sonic Zone music. I don't know what, maybe like Metropolis Zone or something. They're probably better choices. But there are also probably several worse choices. There is something very satisfying about this gameplay in the context of Cave Story, just because... Well, let me put it this way. I've seen previous devs on the Sonic Roboblast 2 fan game, like in Sonic's air dash ability, the Thok, as it's called in that game, to like shooting a first-person game, but you are the bullet, and that's a really interesting perspective. I kind of feel like, aside from, at least at the moment, the shooting part, that's kind of similar here. Oh no, okay. I really thought I was gonna fall on that thing. Out of negligence, for sure. There's something very similar here in that most Sonic games are not this combat heavy, at least the 2D ones. Some of the 3D ones for sure, but in those games you have the homing attack and it's... combat's a lot more bare bones in that way, or like simplistic. Here though, your movement matters a lot in how you approach enemies to handle them, which is really interesting. And will get complicated more and more the further the game goes on. It's not that the Activate gets more complicated, it's that the Activate becomes complicated via other circumstances, if that makes sense. A very minor distinction, I'm sure. Oh, right. I forgot there's like a thing we were supposed to be doing. I tend to do that when playing this mod, because it's... you know, it's Sonic game. You want to just go left to right and enjoy yourself. But no, we have to head into Egg 6. If I'd actually stopped to read any of the computers in that room I went into with the save point, it would have been mentioned that we need to go to egg number 6. Something here. One minor point of contention I have with this mod is that while Sonic's damage is perfectly like fine at the beginning of the game, it really, because it doesn't scale in the way that weapons in Cave Story do inherently, tends to make later boss fights a real slog and war of attrition. I don't know if that's something the modder would consider trying to do, because it seems like their whole vision here was to not complicate the idea of putting Sonic in this game as much as they could. Just straight up classic Sonic 2D gameplay and make it work. But I still feel like it's a major problem that bosses go on for like upwards of 5 minutes, upwards of 10 minutes for some of them in the late game, hell, even in the mid game. It's a lot. Again, we'll get there when we get there. Urgh. You look angry. I'm gonna jump on you. I'm gonna jump within you. If you stand inside Igor like this and just jump inside him, his punch hitbox doesn't hit you at all. But it's you can't really keep it up once you get into phase 2. But you can do this, which is pretty good. God. That was really nothing. I just shredded him. That's what I mean, is that Sonic feels really good in the early game. Aside from a couple of early game bosses where it's not very intuitive how to hit them consistently. Egg number 0. Well, what are we gonna tell her? Vote on your phones now. Oh, you think it's egg number 0. You're not, like, completely convinced by the numbering on it? Maybe to her it looks like it just says no. And she can't take that as credible evidence of anything. Okay, I definitely don't look like I'm around here. Speaking of that, this mod reuses mini Sonic sprites from Sonic CD. If you've seen my Sonic CD LP, then you know where they're from. And they work okay. They're definitely not stylistically consistent with anything in Cave Story at all, but that's fine. I would definitely love to try to make my own sprites for this, if the modder was interested. Maybe if I contact them before they see this LP, they won't contact me first. Or maybe they'll see this LP before I contact them and they'll be like, I don't care about that, and not bother at all, which is also fair, I suppose. See, like, this is fun. I'm just barreling through everything here. You can do that to some degree in the original game too, but because you run fast in this, I love running fast, it's so good. It's just an inherent improvement to the gameplay, in my opinion. I know, sacrilege to say that you can improve on the perfection that is Cave Story. No, I'm kidding. I doubt there are people out there who are that, like, hot on Cave Story in that way, that they'll, like, defend it from, like, from any criticism and say that it's a perfect game, because it's really not. It's fine. It's just a game. It's just a pretty good game. And Kazuma's still really hungry. Oh no, it's the other rabbit folk. They're called Mimigas. They're not really actually that rabbit-like, but they're kind of rabbit-like, but they're also more diverse than that. This guy's like, Sue's all captured up because Toriko got captured, and we believe it has something to do with her. It's her fault just for being here. Which, like, yes, but no. I guess I can summarize some stuff that's going on. There's this guy named the Doctor. He sent Balrog and that floating girl who was here briefly, Misery, down just to be here to take care of Sue, who's here. Sue's not normally a Mimiga. She's actually a human. She's a Mimiga for reasons. And Doctor's bad and is terrorizing all these Mimiga folk trying to get Sue back. But they took the wrong Mimiga. And now we're going to Grasstown. Grasstown. It's grassy. Grasstown has good music. A lot of people know this. Cave Story is a pretty well-known game. A lot of people know about Cave Story soundtrack because it's pretty good. These little dudes hover. They rule. They're like Tails, so like it's really appropriate that this is a Sonic game now. Music's great. This area like looks really nice. I love the grass tiles. I'm gonna take this key. I don't have to give it back to Santa, but I will because I'm a good person. They didn't even ask me to go get it for them because I didn't talk to them. Nah, no thanks. The thing is, because Santa normally gives you the fireball, my favorite weapon in Cave Story, and Sonic don't take no weapons, he just gives us a bunch of rings instead, which is cool, but like we'll lose them, like I'm doing right now, so there's unfortunately not much point to it. Instead we're just gonna move on. Oh yeah, I gotta show off the forbidden tech at some point. I'm sure I will. Yeah, I need to get past your fireplace. Maybe you don't know that yet? Oh no, do I have to talk to Santa to progress? I can't remember. Can't remember. Yeah, because there aren't any jellyfish yet. Ooh, what do I gotta do? I guess I gotta go talk to Santa. I guess I have to participate in the narrative. Dang, that sucks. Really and truly. So here's the forbidden tech, is you can slide, thanks to the new momentum programming, while you're, like, looking into the background. Thanks for the 30 rings! Oh yeah, so they tell us we have to go through the fireplace, and now we know, and now that we know, we can actually, like, try to do it, and still be unsuccessful. Ah, this game's good. This game's really good. Come on, Choco. I wanna go through your fireplace. You gotta tell me how to go through your fireplace. Gotta get some jellyfish juice. Need some jellyfish juice. Now there's jellyfish here. Just all over the place. It's just a thing that's happened. Ugh, love bouncing off enemies and going super high. Give me all those. Similar to how the classic Sonic games have a cap of how many rings you can drop, no matter how many you're holding. Well, rather, how many rings you drop when you drop all of your rings and lose all of them. It's 20 in those games. Here it's 30, which is fine. Don't die, Sonic. Rings, rings. Thanks, okay, cool. Things get hectic when enemies push you around and you can't go where you want to go. I am going to hurt you. I'm going to jump into you repeatedly, and once I've done that, I will have my jellyfish jelly, but I don't have to get a second one, I think. Or jellyfish juice. Yeah, I have to get a second jellyfish juice for later. So, we're just gonna casually go back to Santa's house, not to actually visit with them or anything, just somewhere to be, briefly. As we return to the grasslands of Grasstown. Ah! Leave alone me. Leave alone me. Rings have, rings get. Leave alone me. Help! Okay. I didn't save a moment ago, and I was thinking I maybe should have, and now I'm thinking I definitely should have, but it's okay. That's why saving's important, is because you can just be that fragile. Please do not lose hours of progress playing this mod. You'll be very upset. I can speak from experience. That? Thanks. Thanks to the slope physics, you can do sick spin dash jumps, just like you would in say, Sonic Mania, just to toss out an example. Definitely not a game I have done sick spin dash jumps in on this channel, and want to remind everyone of that fact. For sure. No correlation. Ugh, jellyfish YUB in most annoying place. No. Didn't want to walk off, I wanted to jump off. If you hold the jump button when landing on an enemy, you'll bounce higher off them, especially you'll bounce progressively higher. Oh, never mind, that was a waste of time. I forgot you can only hold one juice at a time. Ugh. Well, we'll have to do things the way the game actually intends then. Dang, I just want to stock up on juice. I just want to get juiced, you know? Because if I use my one here, we go through, And then Choco, being the jerk they are, just lights it again. Like, thanks? We have to get juice again to go through again? Cool. That's why I saved there. These spikes are insta-death. Very mean. Unhelpful. You gotta make it past this tombstone-looking enemy, headstone-looking enemy very carefully. A good bounce away without getting hit will do the job, or a good bounce in from getting hurt will do the job too. Either way, anything to avoid getting knocked into the spike pit. Yes, please, I would love to have a save on the other side. Since you don't have health, all of the health-restoring things in the save points are also gone. The save rooms, I mean. Oh, it's locked? Dang, rude. I really want to go in there. Guess I won't. Just never go in that room because it's locked. Another fun thing is bouncing between enemies like this. Very good. That's the sort of stuff you could, with the right setup, do in regular Sonic games also, but... a nice young man. I guess I look nice and young and like a man. I'll work on changing that. Because of the way enemies are typically placed in this game, there's a lot more situations where you can actually do that, and it's very fun. We could try the key on that door over there, but it works on this door, actually. Just leave that person hanging. Who knows who it could be? Definitely don't have any hint as to who could be in that room behind that locked door. Aw, oh, dude, it's Malco! Hey, Malco! Yeah! Oh, I'm not an intruder. Come on, Malco, you know me. Oh, okay. I did know that. I like Balrog. He's a weirdo. Okay, cool. Balrog shoots at us, and we can jump through most of his projectiles, luckily, which is great, but we have to be jumping. Okay, maybe not most, but like a good chunk of them. Okay. Time to go get that key again. Very fun. Love doing things over again. If I had to do it all over again, I guess I just do it all over again. Let's go. Have the key. Please give me a key. Thank you. One thing that we unfortunately miss out on not having any health is that we don't get to pick up any health capsules the whole game that increase our max health, and thus we don't get to hear the very obvious Metroid item get jingle XP that's in this game. That's EXPY, the word XP. For anyone who doesn't know, I thought I was talking about like experience points. Because I know it gets I know it gets confusing. If I die again, maybe next time I'll say no, I didn't know it was Sue. Or no, it wasn't Sue. Just feign ignorance. Okay, what's very good about this Balrog is that it is possible to get on top of him and spin dash, which is very fun. But you gotta be careful. I've lost all my rings now, which is less fun. Okay. See, it's a fun strategy. Did not say it was a good strategy. These are two separate things. Oh, cool, I got bounced all the way back up here. That rules! Game is good. Good is game. This is the thing that gets annoying about dying frequently to bosses in this game, is that most of them are tucked behind at least some dialogue. So it takes a moment to get back into things. I just literally just want to be on top of you. Yes, 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 yes. It will at some point, I believe, with this boss get more risky dangerous to be on top of him. I can't remember why or how. In what way. Just things that my brain remembers from playing the one time. Yeah, I've only played this one time, by the way. but I have played it all the way through. The one thing I haven't done in this game yet is play through the Sacred Grounds, the true ending area. Because for some reason, when I played it the first time, I did everything that gets you onto the true ending path, and then wasn't allowed to go back in the house at the end. Very confusing, some worrying. Oh. I probably could have stayed spin dashing, huh? Maybe it would have protected me from all the projectiles. Yeah. I don't know. Wait, no, I know what I am. I'm just a guy who loves adventure. Just a regular old hedgehog. Oh, Malco. We'll save you this time. It's only because we like you. I like Malco a lot. This dialogue's really charming, to be honest. What do we need to make explosives? I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out later. I guess the game is patiently waiting for us to figure out why we would ever need an explosive. So let's go do that. I love figuring things out. There is no keyhole, yeah. About to break the door down. Now how do we do that? I wonder if it maybe has something to do with the thing I just alluded to. Couldn't possibly. This is the optimal combat strategy. Whoop. Also, all the fans are on now, because that was what we went into that room that had the Balrog fight in it to begin with. We just ended turning Malco on, and then Balrog showed up, and it was just a whole thing, you know? But we do have fans now. Would love to have an explosive. Charcoal, jellyfish juice, and gum base. Well, we know where to get one of those things. We'll start with that. But we'll do that next time. This seems like a pretty good spot to put things on hold for a moment. Catch me next time with more Sonic Story. It's just Cave Story, but with Sonic the Hedgehog in it. And now it has me in it, because I'm playing it.